Hello everyone, welcome back to Blade Bias. This is recorded after all of the pre-recorded videos for this week, so if there's any differences in my room, that's why. I just got this thing, the Zippy Diode, and it's pretty cool. Full disclosure, I did do a full video, like unboxing it and assembling it, because it is a DIY Valley. And I was sitting on the floor just transferring the footage, and I realized I just wasn't happy with it. Like, nothing of note really happened. It was way too long. There was nothing really good of it, so I just decided I'm just going to do a normal Blade Bias talking about this thing. The assembly process was pretty easy, besides me just being stupid for some parts because there was a camera strapped to my head the whole time. And it actually came out really well. The print quality of this thing feels good. The balance is really nice. It feels more neutral than the cycloid, while still maintaining the ability to carry momentum that the cycloid has. The only thing is it's very light, and I'm not a fan of light balisongs. I really like some weight in my balisongs. I like 3.8 to like 4.5 ounces. That's like my target range. So you might be saying, oh, why'd you get a zipper? Because this thing's pretty cool, it's pretty cheap, and I wanted to test it. But also because of this silver handle right here. You might notice this is it's a really interesting material, and that's because it's glow in the dark. I don't know if you guys can see that. But in person, I certainly can. So it's already doing better than those little bite indicators I have from Squid. No offense, Squid. But first impressions on the diode, a really nice little cheap trainer. Its MSRP is $30. I don't really think anyone, there is going to be a few people that buy it for $30. I think the main people that buy this are going to spend at least $5 or $10 to customize it, because having all one color balisong I don't think is a very good training tool. A new person spends $30 in the hobby, and then they're learning aerials and their whole balisong is the same color, and they can't tell the difference between the blade and the handles. And that's an issue. So I do think that the actual price for this thing is going to be more like $35 or $40, but I am also going to evaluate it based on the price that they're selling it for and the price that I got it for. My model runs for $45. At $45, I would say it is just worth it. At $30, I would say it's a pretty good deal. Because like I said, the ability to carry momentum and the more neutral balance of it compared to the cycloid is much better in my opinion. But unlike the cycloid, it doesn't feel as solid in the hands. It is only on washers. It is a DIY thing, so if you can't put together a very good tune, it's kind of on you more than it is on Zippy. So it makes sense that this is the cheapest model in the lineup, and I understand where the corners were cut and why it costs what it does. And I think for what it does cost, it's a pretty solid little trainer. For $30, that's like, you just buy it for fun just because you want to try it almost kind of money. At least for me, that's why I got it. Granted, my order ended up being about $60 because I also got like the caps and I customized every aspect of it. But for 30 or $35, it's a pretty solid little trainer. A bit too light for my taste, but it flips pretty well. Would I say that it beats things like the cycloid or the Tay flipper? Absolutely not. I'm just going to be straight up on that one. The Tay flipper, if I have the option, I'm going to go for pretty much every time. The Tay flipper just feels a bit better in the hands because they are both on washers, so I think it is worth comparing those two. I just like how the Tay flipper flips. I like how the Tay flipper looks. I like how the Tay flipper carries momentum, and the weight, specifically the weight of the Tay flipper, is really nice. So while I don't think that this thing competes with the other metal trainer or other plastic trainers, even from Zippy himself, I don't think that was the point. The point was just to make a fun little flipper for $30, and I think he succeeded with that. I should have mentioned this earlier, but this is an open beta, so everything you see here is not final, including the prices. But I'm going to work with Zippy, provide some feedback, much like the other open beta testers. And we're going to try and make this thing as best the best thing possible for the price by the time it comes out. And I think there's a very good chance of that happening. So overall, yeah, I like the diode. I'll be putting it in my bag since I am more or less done getting my thoughts together on EDCing the Vulp. Now that I've finally prepared to score that thing, I can throw this thing in my EDC bag and call that a day. Get the review on that eventually. I don't really know when that'll happen, but yeah. Super solid little trainer, chaplains well, fans well, just feels pretty good. It's just a bit light because I'm not really a huge fan of plastic unless it is heavier plastic. The other thing I want to bring up is these little end caps. Just little first impressions of these. People have been saying like, oh, they're amazing on the Prisma or they're amazing on the diode. I do think they're cool. I like that you can protect the ends of your balisong handles and change the balance of it, but changing the balance of it isn't really the point in my eyes because I'm already used to my balisong how it is. I like the Prisma's light, agile, blade biased profile, and these caps kind of change it to a handle biased, momentum carrying monster that's more uncontrollable and unwieldy than anything else. It makes it significantly heavier. It makes it pretty unwieldy in my hands. I'm having trouble even flipping it just because I'm not used to it. By no means do I think these are bad, and you can change the weight on them. I'm going to experiment with that, but just first impressions out of the box, slapping them on the Prisma. I don't really like them that much. Just changing the balance of a balisong that I'm already super used to and that I already like a lot isn't going to go over so well, especially when it makes it feel more like a Kraken trainer. A heavier, unwieldy, handle bias balisong rather than the light, agile, blade bias Prisma that I've come to love. And even on the Vulp, it just makes it a bit too unwieldy. The diode, it makes it feel the weight of a cycloid. But again, it just, like, it carries so... These things make balisong carry so much momentum in the handles that I almost have trouble, like, flipping them, you know? So I do think these things are very cool. And I do think there are people out there who definitely want something like this, especially the handle bias crowd. But as someone who likes all the various different weight points in the community, I don't really think these, in their current configuration, are for me. But, like I said, just first impressions. I'll experiment with these more and eventually provide my thoughts in a future blade bias video. But as for everything else, I think that's pretty much it. Look for more content coming out from these things because the diode is pretty cool. And I think that's pretty much it. I've rambled on as much as I can. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.